Morning, everybody. Obviously, this is a time where all coaches are excited. We're about halfway through our practices. You get the 30 days of practice, and I think we're at number 17. And, the guys are anxiously awaiting getting into games. I know we've seen some of the exhibitions games started, scrimmages started. But as the coaches, this is an important time of the year. You're building your foundation, of your team, which I think is going to last through the season. You're always excited at this time, but for us, it probably a little more fun for us because we have a lot of veterans back. We have some experienced seniors in Barry Brown, Dean Wade, and Kamal Stokes, who have really started since their freshman year. So you have that experience factor. You got the leadership of those guys. I think as good a leaders. Barry's probably as good a leader as I've ever coached. And they're all good workers, which helps us. And then we have, I don't know what, basically the whole team back, and many of them started on a team that went to the Elite Eight. So it's, it's exciting, but every team is different. We're going through the learning process, figuring out, each, roles and who's those other guys are going to be. And, we'll see what happens, but it's a fun time of year, and we're excited. We're looking forward to hopefully an exciting season for K-State basketball.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to start in the rear, right all the way back. Wendell, put your hand up. And again, your name and your affiliation.
Bruce Wendell Barnhouse,
yep,
with the Open Man. The Big 12 announced the scheduling agreement with the Big East that's going to start next season. What do you think about that? I guess now the Big 12 is going to have both the SEC Challenge and this. I know you've had some trouble, I guess, with non-conference scheduling. Yes. Can you kind of wrap all that up in some comments?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great for the league. When Jeff Jackson came on and John Underwood left the league, retired, we're going to miss John, but Jeff will do a great job. Is one of the things what he asked, what do you need help with? And scheduling was one of the definite things, especially with the leagues, the bigger leagues, the mega leagues going to 20 games, which means, I know RPI is kind of going out, but you're still going to, some type of scheduling mechanism and strength of schedule will be there. So, we can expand. How many, you already play everyone twice, which the other leagues don't do, which it makes it tough for us. And we had to find another vehicle to get a tough game, and this get the SEC game. You hope you have a home game one year and have the Big East game on the road, and then it rotates the next year. We'll see if that works out, but it gets us to 20 games and gets us an opportunity to match what the mega leagues are doing with the 20-game schedule. For us, scheduling's hard. I know. Our fans, they want teams to come to Manhattan. It's not easy for us to do, and this will definitely help us get a real positive home game into non-conference for our fans and for our team.
We have a question straight back in the rear. Put your hand up so the coach will be able to see you, and then we'll come to the front.
Myron Metcalf, ESPN. Multiple schools in this league have been connected to the FBI investigation and trial in New York, and I'm curious if you have any concerns about a level playing field in this league as a result.
Well, I'm not sure about just the league. I mean, it's nationwide. Obviously, there's been some issues, and I guess for me, it's sad for the business, but at the same time, if it's like anything else. If there's a problem, hopefully we can get it fixed. Our game is special. I mean, I've been involved in it 40 years. It's been my life, and I'm proud to be involved with it. And I can't worry about what other people do. I just worry about what we do, and we try to do it right. And I think we got good players, we got good kids, so we got an opportunity to be successful, and that's what we're really focused on. But at the same time, I want, the game is important to me, and I want it to, I want things corrected if it can be, and hopefully it will be in the future.
We got a question on the front side, or on the right-hand side, Coach, over here on the front row.
Yeah, John Kurtz from K-Man. With the ups and downs of your time in Manhattan, Bruce, right now it seems like your popularity is at an all-time high with the fan base. What's it been like to see that change so rapidly and the way that it has?
again, I don't worry about it as much as you guys do probably. I just worry about our kids and our players, being ready to play and being prepared. There's always people that don't like you. Judd Heathcote told me many, many years ago when I first became a head coach, you get a job, 90% of people like you, 10% don't. And each year it's going to go down. And the longer you stay at a place, it's going to be tougher and tougher. And that's just, I always think of Judd when you have some negative things happen. And if you, as a coach, if you worry about every negative fan, every negative media person, you're not going to be able to coach. I just worry about coaching. And everyone say, how do you deal with it? Well, very rarely does somebody come up to me in the grocery store and ever say, God, you suck as a coach. No one does. Those people are the faceless, to me, opinion guys that, continually say stuff, but they don't ever do it to somebody's face. And, I've thought it's always been positive for me at Manhattan. We got great fans, and hopefully, obviously they're excited about our team. We got an older group that, made a nice run, and but it's always fun when people like you. It's human nature, but at the same time, I just worry about helping the players do their best.
Coach, we're still on the right side on the second row over here.
Hey, Bruce, Kellis Robinette here with the Wichita Eagle and Kansas City Star. When you had your media day in Manhattan a few weeks back, you made a comment about how you were maybe a little bit surprised that Kansas State wasn't getting more preseason respect given everything you had back. But now that you see you're number 12 in the polls and picked second in the preseason poll here in the conference, does your opinion change on that? Are you where you think you should be?
It really doesn't matter. But at the same time, I kind of laugh. Like, that's my whole point then was, we have everyone back and we went to the Elite Eight, and we went to the Elite Eight without supposedly the preseason player of the year in the Big 12. So, why shouldn't we be in the top 10 or whatever? And, but it is what it is. We can't worry about it. We just got to worry about our play and getting ready for, our opening game. And we got good players. Just a little disappointed. Dean was, if you think about it, he was only underclassman on the first team, all Big 12 last year, and Barry was second team, so two of the only underclassmen in an unbelievable league, probably the toughest league I've ever been part of. And so, to me, I don't think they've gotten as much national recognition as they should, because they're two of the best underclassmen in the best league in the country. So why aren't you getting that publicity? But they don't. I don't think they care. They're just driven to be good players, and that's important for me. That how hard they work and how they're getting our team ready.
Question in the middle on the second row.
Bruce, Scott Fritchen, GoPowerCat.com. You mentioned Dean Wade, obviously, in preseason Player of the Year. Can you describe just for me what Dean has meant to this program and what his legacy could be by the time he leaves Kansas State?
Well, I think the legacy will be if we have a successful season. That's anything. People remember if you win. Obviously, he wasn't part of the Elite Eight run, which I feel horrible about. And I think it was a driving force for him coming back. And if there was any indecision of maybe putting his name in last year with the injury, that he wanted to be part of that. But I just appreciate his development, and you watched him freshman year. He had some nice moments, but he had a lot of tough moments, and fans were on him. But each year he's gotten better. His confidence in last year in the Big 12, I thought it was at an all-time high. I laughed. Bamba last, when they interviewed him at the combine, he had, who was the toughest player you played against, and he said Dean Wade. And you've had other coaches say who was the toughest player to defend, Dean Wade. So he's really grown as a player. But he's also a great human being. Great. Just a good representative of K-State. So you're proud of him in a lot of ways. And Barry Dean and Cam, they have a chance to leave a really nice legacy. And I appreciate them. Our staff does, because of what what they did for our program. We had to throw them into the fire as freshmen, and they took their lumps. But they've grown as players and helped our program grow where we're now, we're hopefully one of the top teams in the country.
Final question for Coach on the far outside left in the rear, Coach.
Brendan Dworzynski, WWW Radio in Topeka. Coach, you already talked about Dean Wade a little bit and talked about the national recognition, but when you see a player like him be named the preseason Big 12 Player of the Year and then not get a single vote for the AP for being an All-American, how does that make you feel as a coach?
Well, and that goes back to Kellis's question that somebody's not watching or paying attention. And, but I think a little bit of it is, he didn't get to be part of that run, so a lot of people nationally didn't get to see him. But it bothered me a little bit. I'm sure it doesn't bother Dean at all because I don't think he pays attention to that. But, I guess going back to Kellis's, that was my question. I'm not sure how can that be. But all he can do is have a great senior year. That's the most important thing. Same with Barry, same with Cam, and they just want our team to be successful. They lived through that run last year and saw how much fun it was and how much exposure you got. And I know they want to have a special season and leave a nice legacy for K-State basketball.